What's up, guys? Weather Wednesday coming at you with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today we're going to play a little game called Is It Worth It? There's a lot of things going on in the game this week as we are preparing for a fusion. And is it going to be worth your resources, or should you be saving them all for the upcoming Hansel and Gretel fusion? Now, first of all, there's a fusion warm-up. These are typically always pretty worth it. Not very difficult to do. In this case, all you have to do is one time a day, level up a piece of gear to level 12. Doesn't cost very much at all. You're going to get some energy, some silver. Typically, you're going to get an ancient shard at the end. You get some gems. The multi-battle attempts alone can be very helpful for those of you who do not use RSL Helper. So yeah, the Fusion Warm-Up event is typically going to be quite worth it. Now, as you can see, starting tomorrow, there is going to be a Halloween Deck of Fate. And if this is any indication, you can get Lego book. Nothing too exciting. I don't think that there's going to be like a guaranteed legendary hero champion or anything like that, so I'm not too worried about the Halloween Deck of Fate. Maybe there will be something exciting in there, but I kind of doubt it. And then there's the Dungeon Divers event is almost over, so you probably already made your decision there. But the big thing right now is going to be this right here, Prism Shard event. This is called the Nightmare Summon Pool. So all kind of scary scary champions. You know, we've got some Undead Horde, we got some Demon Spawn at Knights Rev. Is this? Yeah, so mostly from the Corrupted faction. So the thing about this is the odds are pretty low that you're going to summon one of these legendaries, but they're not zero. I feel like the Prism Shards have been in the game for probably close to a year, just guessing, and I've gotten a legendary out of it one time. Haven't spent any money on any of these Prism Shards. That's a totally different thing. If you're spending money, yeah, you're gonna get some of these legendary champions probably, you know, if you're spending enough. So the question is it worth it going for these champions? And quite frankly, yeah, 8 out of 9 of them are really good. Different levels of good depending on your account level. Now, first of all, Halfrack. I do have a Halfrack, and he's a pretty good arena champion. I don't use him too many other places other than, you know, Curse City, Faction War, stuff like that, but you can use almost any champion on Curse City and Faction trials. So I'd say Halfrack is a good nuker if you don't have any nukers and you happen to stumble upon him. He is an above average nuker, not like meta or top tier or anything like that, but he's good. And then Morgane, I actually like this champion quite a bit, and she is very useful against Amius, particularly because of she has this heal reduction that comes quite in handy, plus she's got the ally speed in all battles, which means that she could be useful for like siege teams. And then she's got increased speed. She could probably technically be used in Hydra because of the increased speed and the decreased speed. I don't know if anybody really uses her there, but that might be an option. And then we've got the worst champion available in the pool. And it's not that he's completely unuseful. He's just not great. Nocta Paralyzer. The thing about him is he's got a sleep on his A2 and a sleep on his passive, I guess. I don't have him, so never use him. But basically, he is in the game just as an option for the Sand Devil. So if you need a sleep champion for the Sand Devil's Necropolis, that's about all you're probably going to be using Noct the Paralyzer for. And then Rhodos, one of the champions I've wanted since I began the game over 3 years ago. Rhodos the Lost Groom. He's still really good. Not as good as he was even a year ago. Certainly not as good as he was a couple years ago. But he's still really good. He can still do great damage for any kind of arena situation. If you get him, you're not going to be sad. I'll put it that way. If you happen to have a Siphi, he's even better, but he doesn't really need a Siphi to be great, just to be greater. And then we've got White Queen and Korra. Now, she was a fusion, but she was a great fusion. And if you get extra copies of her, obviously that's great. Now, personally, I happen to have pulled the White King a couple months ago, not from the guaranteed, but from a progression event a couple months ago. I was able to get him, and as a team, I mean, they're my number one arena combo team. So definitely a good champion to get. And then Duchess, another one of those champions that I've wanted for so long and have never been able to summon. Now, she's not as good as she was before all these mythicals came into the game, but that doesn't make her bad. It just means that if you are a whale account, a Kraken account, if you're super in-game and you've got all the champions, you got a bunch of mythicals, maybe you're not relying on her so much, but she's still great for arena. She's still great for Hydra and a lot of other situations. So my top 3 picks here are going to be Rhodos, Duchess, and I wouldn't mind another copy of the White Queen. Then there's Helikath. Now, he is the reason why I was first able to 2-key Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. I think I was able to get to 1-key eventually with a Helikath team. And he's still good. He's still a good champion. Not as good as he was. There was a time when he was very nearly almost meta in arena. Like, he could really do some damage, but he's outclassed today. But if you pull him and you need help with Ultra Nightmare Demon Lord, you can still do that. Now, Calvalax. I just got Calvalax. I just built Calvalax. He can be used in a lot of things, but the great thing about him is he throws out poisons at the beginning of any round. So we got here, he throws out 4 poison debuffs on all enemies for 2 turns at the start of each round. So a lot of people have used him for speed wave clearing. If you have a couple of Calvalaxes and a couple of like Elinarls or something, you can do some pretty cool things with waves. I obviously only have the 1 Calvalax. I have 3 Elinarls. So if I ever pull another Calvalax, I could really come up with some cool teams. But he's still very useful in a lot of areas. You could probably use him in, like, you can use him in Spider. You can use him in Dragon. You could probably even use him in Ice Golem if you needed to. Really to get through any kind of wave situations. He can be really good. And then Tio actually goes pretty well with Calvalax. I have him as well, and I've been using him ever since I got him. He throws out a weaken, but he's got poison and poison sensitivity, and he can also automatically activate any poison or HP burn on any enemy with his A3. So he's great. So definitely, if you have the opportunity, if you have plenty of energy, gems, resources, whatever it takes to be able to pull in this Nightmare Summon pull, there's some good champions there. Now, if you are an endgame Kraken, maybe you already have everything here and you don't care about that, but that's not most people. Most people could use pretty much any of these champions, except for maybe Noct. I don't know. Let me know if you use Noct for anything. Maybe he's in somebody's Sand Devil team. Now, as far as the epics go, pretty good cast of characters. Whisper is great. Dirindil is actually pretty hard hitting. I recently built him up and used him in Curse City or something. We got some old school champions. All of these guys are pretty useful. Husk is okay. Rector Drath I hate, but she's okay. Mausoleum Mage is not as good as he was a few years ago. Dylesia, you probably don't want to build. Of course, Allure, if you're trying to get through Fire Knight normal, she's very good for that. Ashma, she might be part of the Lady Mikage fusion, I don't really remember, but that's about all that she would be good for, if that's true. Miscreated Monster, of course, was a Halloween champion from, I don't know, 4 years ago or something. He's still useful, but not really endgame material. Gorgorab, again, like, he used to really pair with Mausoleum Mage. A lot of people use him. Don't really see them a whole lot outside of perhaps faction trials. Seeker is great if you're trying to build. There's a lot of Demon Lord teams that use Seeker. I use him in my team. Franax, I don't know if anybody uses Franax for anything. Vogoth is kind of cool. Like if you get a couple of him, it can be useful in Bommel or something. I don't use him a lot, but he's a very tanky fellow, and he can be useful, especially for progression accounts. Magnar is a very good hard-hitting HP nuker, and Anax is actually a pretty cool poisoner with a weaken, decreased defense. He can also be used to take down the Demon Lord as well. So there's some very good champions in this pool, and quite frankly, I might be going for some of these Prism Shards. But how do you get the Prism Shards? So as you can see, the Classic Arena Takedown is about to be completed. Nothing too special there, kind of a very typical Classic Arena Takedown. And then we got a Fire Knight Turn Attack, which started today. It's only 2 days. You got 2 days to get some okay rewards with the Demon Spawn team. I will show you my team in a minute. I did build a team. I don't think I'm going to go too hard on that, in particular because there's going to be a Sand Devil Turn Attack for the Prism Shards starting tomorrow. So I'm going to be going hard for that personally because I happen to have some extra gems because I didn't do the last fusion. Didn't care about Jeroboam at all. So I got plenty of gems to be using on that. And because of the Odin Dungeon, I wasn't running a lot of Sand Devil, and I need to up my Sand Devil oils or whatever those are called. So I will show you before I go. I will show you my the team that I ended up with on the Fire Knight Castle. I did a few runs just to see if I felt like doing this. But it's going to take like 4,000 energy, and quite frankly, I just don't care enough about the rewards. They're just okay. But I did a stage 20 team. I had to throw her in for Wither the Crown. I had to throw her in just to keep my team healed and alive. And then everybody else is kind of doing damage besides Allure is in there, of course, as I said. She helps with the turn meter on the Fire Knight. And then I've just got Magnar, Hefrak, and Helikath. 4 out of 5 of these champions are available in the Prism Shard event. And like I said, they can all be useful. I pretty much only use Allure now in these situations. Plus the Dark Fae, I think she's still probably still in my Dark Fae team. I'm not super sure about that. She might be, she might not be. But she's very good at what she does. And then, Magnar is a pretty good HP epic nuker. And then I can get some damage out of Hefrak and Helikath as well. So this is like a 3-minute team. I don't need to show you the run. It works. You're just going to have to take my word for that because I don't think anybody wants to watch a slow Fire Knight Stage 20 team, but I didn't do any presets or anything, just ran the team, build these 3 for damage, and build her tanky, build Wither tanky to keep the team healed and alive, and that's about it. Allure needs accuracy and speed, and that's just about it. So I decided I don't really care. I don't really care that much about stun sets, to be honest. They can be very useful, but I just kind of don't really use them all that much. I have enough for what I need, I guess. So I think the big thing to take away from this is that the Prism Shard event, the Summon Pool event, is pretty good. I would really like to get a Duchess or a Rotos, and even though the odds are against me, I need to run Sand Devil anyway, so I'll be running it. Let me know what you think about all these events. Are they worth it to you, or are you saving everything up, knowing that the fusion is coming up? I don't know if Hansel and Gretel are going to be any good or not. Nobody knows yet. I don't have test server access, and those who do can't say anything yet. So we will find out soon enough, but I'll be running Sand Devil tomorrow. Let me know what you're going to be doing this week. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Wilder Wednesday, and I will be back with more Raid Shadow Legends content. See ya!